So the MVP race is heating up, and I truly believe we have our winner for this year's award. The MVP award is the most coveted award. It's what propels players from superstar or star level players to legit Hall of Famers. It cements your name into NBA history and leaves a legacy behind revolving around that player and that team. To start the year, there were a plethora of players who had legit cases to win the MVP award. Very early on into the season, it was Jason Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo. For majority of the first half of the season, it shifted to Luka Doncic. He was a nightly 35, 8-8 player, and though his stats have dipped a little bit, he's still hovering around that. His game log for this season is crazy. It includes multiple streaks of 30-plus point games. He had a 50-point and 10-assist game against the Houston Rockets, a 60-point, 21-rebound, 10-assist game against the New York Knicks, another 51-point game against the San Antonio Spurs. There were so many MVP-worthy games, and a lot of people knew that for him to win this award, he would have to continue to have these games throughout the season, and unfortunately, that level of play just isn't really sustainable. The team's record dipped, and eventually the team made the move to trade for Kyrie Irving. Adding another superstar level talent to this team kind of diminishes his chances at winning the MVP award. After that, the focus shifted to Nikola Jokic, and for up until last week, it seemed like he was the runaway winner for this award. He was averaging a 25-point triple-double. He's shooting 63% from the field, and he has the Nuggets as the best team in that Western Conference. But since the beginning of March, the team's play has diminished. In the month of March, they've already had a 4-game losing streak, losing to teams like the Spurs and the Bulls and the Raptors, just losing to teams that they should not be losing to. In these games, a lot of people look to Nikola Jokic's defense. He doesn't give much effort on that side. It's easy to expose him, and a lot of teams have been taking advantage of his slow feet. The media talk surrounding Nikola Jokic has been very negative, and with that, we see yet another shift in the MVP race.
On him, 5 seconds to go.
There you go.
Embiid driving, spinning, fading, hitting.
Joel Embiid is the front runner for this year's MVP award and who I believe will win it. Joel Embiid has been on a wild tear for this entire season. On the year, Joel Embiid is averaging 33.6 points per game, which would be the highest scoring average by a center since Bob McAdoo in the 1974-75 season. He's grabbing 10 rebounds, he's dishing out 4 assists per game, and he's shooting just above 55% from the field. He's been having historic game after historic game after historic game for the Philadelphia 76ers, but his play hasn't been talked about that much because of Nikola Jokic's play. Well, now the tables have turned. Joel Embiid has been on a stretch in the month of March that we've just never seen before. Through 10 games played in a month, the Philadelphia 76ers are 8-2, and Joel Embiid is averaging 36 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. He's blocking just about 2.5 shots per game, and is shooting 61% from the field, 42% from 3, and just under 84% from the free throw line. This stretch includes a 42-point game, multiple 39-point games, a 36 and 18 rebound game, a 38 and 13 rebound game, and most recently a 37 and 16 rebound game against the Chicago Bulls. What's so amazing about Joel Embiid's run is that he's doing it on the offensive end, he's getting to the line, he's making his mid-range shots, he's being a beast down low, and he's also been exceptional on the defensive end. Joel Embiid is the anchor for that Philadelphia 76ers unit. This team has the 9th best defensive rating in the month of March. They're blocking the 6th highest shots per game. They're limiting opponents to the 8th least points in the paint, and majority of this is thanks to Joel Embiid's impact. Joel Embiid is a tenacious shot blocker. He alters your shots in the rim, and he can play out in space. He's just about done everything for this Philadelphia 76ers team, and it's been well needed during the stretch. A conference that was really a 2-man race between the Bucks and Celtics has now shifted to a 3-man race with the Sixers being added to it. As it stands right now, the Philadelphia 76ers are just a half a game back of the 2nd seed in that Eastern Conference. They look like a team that's going to win well over 50 games this season. I feel like that bodes well for Embiid's MVP talks. And this MVP win will be big for Embiid in his career moving forward. Like I talked about in my previous Sixers video, I don't know how Embiid discourse or Embiid talks are going to go in 20 years from now, concerning that a lot of those talks revolve around players' accolades and such. I just truly believe that Embiid's career will be underrated because he doesn't have the major accolades. And that's not his fault. It's because the talent in the league right now is just insane. When we look at Embiid as a player, he's something that we really never seen before. He has the post work and power like Shaq. He has the footwork like Hakeem. He has a finesse from the mid-range like Kevin Durant, and like we talked about, he's a defensive juggernaut. He's truly a one-of-a-kind player, and someone I don't really think we're ever going to see in the NBA ever again. We're talking about a top 10 center of all time if he wins, and that can get even higher if they win a championship. Like I talked about in that Sixers video, the Sixers probably have the 2nd best chance of any team to come out of the Eastern Conference. In the Joel Embiid era, this is probably the most talented team they've ever had. And they just have that flair that, a lot of these teams that win championships have. They have it. They've been an extremely hot team in the second half of this NBA season, and they've shown no signs of slowing down. They can compete with anybody and are a scary team to match up against. You lock in that 2nd seed and you secure home court advantage until at least the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe you find something on that Bucks team to exploit and your chances look great facing them in the Eastern Conference Finals. You beat them, you go on to face a team in the Western Conference, and it just isn't really all that this year. Because if we look at the Western Conference, just about every team in the playoff race right now has their own issues. We don't know if the Lakers are going to be in the playoffs. We don't know if the Warriors are going to be in the playoffs. The Suns still have questions surrounding Kevin Durant's injury. The Mavericks still have questions of their own. The Clippers still have questions of their own. And they'll beat the Nuggets. They'll beat the Kings, the Grizzlies. So the time is now for Joel Embiid. This could be the greatest big man season since Shaq in 2000. To win an MVP and then to potentially win a Finals MVP would just cement his legacy even further. So yeah, I think the MVP race is all but over. With just about 8 games left in this NBA season, all Joel Embiid has to do is just keep doing what he's doing. And he's shown no signs of slowing down. So if he can do that, I think he's just about ready to claim that MVP trophy.